Okay, today is Monday, March 23rd. Before I get to the gooder stuff, I'm going to address comments on my last video stating that the Strait of Hormuz was not closed. Yes, it was. It was closed for I don't know how long, maybe a few hours or a day. And then they finally went on to this. I took this screenshot. It shows up there on the 20th. Nearly 100 ships passed through. Who's getting through? Closed down. Daily traffic is down about 95%, which it began on the 28th. Before the war, 130 ships roughly every day, and now it's down to 5 or 6. And of course, it depends on whose flag you're flying. And then if you're going to go through there, you got to hope you don't get struck by anyway, because they don't know if Iran doesn't know whose ship it is and all that horse shit. And I haven't been covering this, and I've been avoiding this conspiracy shit on purpose for quite some time. The only two times I can remember doing that recently is currently, like I said, I'm firmly believing and convinced those data centers are not just data centers, if they're data centers at all. Then going all the way back to, I looked it up earlier, it was 23, 24, when the strait closed down, I don't remember how much, when they were blaming the Houthis attacking them ships, because it was almost 3 weeks before we got one picture or one video of a ship even getting hit. And what I want to address here is, how do we know who's even hitting these ships? How do we know who actually attacked those ships so they could close the strait, or if they had bombs on them? And what are they doing now in the Strait of Hormuz? They went from saying it's missiles and drones hit the ships to unknown projectiles. What the fuck is that? And why do we have no film, no pictures of any of these things coming in and hitting the ships? And like they used to do years ago, remember they get on CNN and Fox and show us this missile tracks of the missiles coming in to hit the thing with addressing that shit is you could go off on fucking 50 different tangents for conspiracy theories, so I'm trying to avoid that dumb shit. Like, here's another one I want to address because it's important here. So supposedly Israel bombs the PAS natural gas field in the strait that is half theirs and half, is it Saudi Arabia or UAE? Either way. Anyway, so who really did that and did anything that get there, even anything where they're really attacked? And then, so Iran shoots back and fucks up Qatar's major, it's the third or fifth largest in the world natural gas producing facility. You can't just replace those. And as they're saying, it's going to be 3 to 5 years before they fix that. And I got to show you some other shit that's going on. That this was part of the plan. Like I said, Trump has no intention whatsoever that they don't want the strait open. Like I said, who's bombing the ships out there? Who the fuck anyway? And god dang it, something else under that. They don't. Like I said in my last video, this Trump. Oh, we need help from these other countries to get the strait open faster. They know that none of the countries are going to send out ships because they don't want it open. This is all intentional. It was all pre-planned. Yes, it's about getting all these people off Israel's back. But like I said in the title of this video, this is a major world power grab and energy grab. This is just holy shit. And it's going to go on and on and on. Oh, and matter of fact, before I get to these few screenshots, what's going on over there with the oil and the natural gas should have no effect in the United States whatsoever. We have our own, and especially with I'm not even going to look up the natural gas because, oh yeah, we're going to get to that. Wait till you see these contracts. And our oil, what oil we don't produce, first place we get it from Canada, the second we get it from Mexico. So unless Palestine, Palestinians, Russians, Ukrainians, Iranians come over here and stop blowing up the connections between these two countries, there's no reason for ever have a shortage here. There's no reason for our prices to go up. And we're somewhere like 3 weeks into this horse shit because I kept wondering why Trump hasn't pulled the Venezuelan card yet. I'm going to rescue us with the Venezuelan oil because since they started hitting each other's gas fields and oil fields and blaming it on each other, like I said, who knows who the hell's doing what? They can't. Trump can't do that. They can't relieve the pressure on the minds of us, the wallets, meaning our minds. They can't relieve the pressure because they want people focused on what's going down over there and not over here, in which they go together. But let me show some shit here. I want to hit this Karg Island again first. Okay, there's Karg Island. I Googled it. The pipelines run up here. Oh, where is it? Oh, where that pin is. Geneva Port. Okay, so I had to look it up and see where it is, because there's subsea pipelines. So where it is, that of course that comes from the Iranian oil fields. And there's a quick screenshot of the Iranian oil fields, and down here somewhere is Karg Island. And like I said, if they're going to take Karg Island, which I believe they are, because that's the only reason to bomb 90 plus they didn't bomb. There wasn't just all just bombs. I'm telling you right now, they've already got special forces, SEALs on there. They eliminated every piece of enemy down there. That's already done deal. I mean, I can't see them. They have to take Karg Island. If you're going to go through all this sort of horseshit, then just give it back to Iran, then it was all senseless. And I know people are going to say, well, that's the new war. Well, that's the agenda. Do this, do that, give it back so we can do it again. No, this is different. This is major different. So anyway, so over here you got, I can't move, it's a screenshot. So you got the I think that's the right. Anyway, I like how they say closed. And oh man, if you go look at Karg Island, it even says closed. But so they got to take at least some of these oil fields to keep the oil going down here, so you can run to the pipelines over to Karg Island, or you're defeating the whole purpose of this horse shit. But let me pause here. This is probably a connection with all this true as what's going on. As of February, the U.S. is withdrawing all 1,000 troops from Syria. Now, why? Oh, they suddenly became U.S. friendly. Well, yeah, well, actually they have, but, they need them elsewhere, like over there. Okay, besides Iran and Israel, Qatar hitting each other's natural gas and oil, altogether 23 sites have been hit on all three sides or whatever the hell you want to call it over there. And then this one I didn't see today. Ukraine strikes Primorsk port in northwest Russia, damaging fuel reservoirs. No, I was watching, I think, that video about that. Okay, drone attacked the damaged fuel reservoir oil export hub, which can export more than 1 million barrels of oil per day. Per day. Let me pause here. Okay, I'm going to go through a few screenshots here that I want to... anyway, I'm going to do these in the order I got the screenshots. This is Targa LPG export terminal. This is in the U.S. It's closed down. It's in Houston. They're claiming they got to replace some parts. They claim it's been starting to fall apart. Right there in the center, the unit has been fully shut down. All three compressors could require replacement. So how long is that going to fucking take? And it is responsible for the export of 20% of the U.S. exports, not the world, but 20% from the U.S. to other countries. Throw in the Strait. Okay, this one says only one ship carrying natural gas is left out in the ocean, and it's going to get to where it's going in 10 days. So I don't know. It takes wherever it's headed. It takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Anyway, so even if they opened the Strait opened up right now, and they had not bombed each other's gas and oil fields. Well, how long is it going to take for the feedback loop to be done? I mean, this is it's not a forever war, but it's forever damage. Oh, and I'm telling you right now, this is not a forever war. Once they get done with this massive shit, take over what they're going to take over. A bunch of them ships will leave, but the presence, this is going to be a new presence, it's just a takeover. Let's keep going on my screenshots here. Some countries that are going to be majorly affected, last shipments, Pakistan. I don't know what's in this one. Qatar accounts for 20% of the LNG. Okay, I didn't need that. Pakistan faces shut-off crisis. Asia's getting hit hard. If you're a country that doesn't have your own, or you don't get it from somewhere else that's not inside the strait, or even on the other side, where Saudi Arabia and the others have other ports on the other side of the country, but then you got to reroute everything and blah, 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 anyway. And they don't want that to begin with. What else is in there? Taiwan, Singapore, Slovenia. Australia's already in trouble. Someplace will eventually, when they feel like it. And Goldman Sachs prices, blah, blah. I know. I get all that shit. Hundreds of petrol stations in Australia run out, and some of them are blaming it on a gas rush. But of course, if you're not getting it, you're not getting it, so it's not going to be refilled. They're not outright. Oh! My last video, that same dude said in the comments said there's not going to be food shortages. I was trying to explain, as I have over years, where I was speaking against the food shortages that all these truther channels are putting out there. But we're going to, I don't know, the food, you could call it food shortages, decrease in certain products. Oh, hang on, I need to go scratch. Smoker's cough. Okay, there has to be a decrease and food products around this planet because of the way the earth is dying because of climate change brought about primarily about geoengineering. That is fact. And as the guy like Dan Wigington's been saying for years, they will do all they can to keep this country stocked up, even if it kills other people not to have food. And that is happening. Because again, I remember when we were about a year into COVID, they put it out in the news that the food help going to Africa was reduced by 50% because of COVID, and I never heard anything since. Did they ever redo that? I mean, they're gonna bring everything they can over here, Trump and his people, to get everything over here they can to keep this country from panic, from civil war, from chaos. Because the New World, the Trump agenda, they don't want it here. They don't want chaos. We're doing what we should do right now, fucking babbling and not doing nothing, making videos, watching videos, commenting on videos. Nope, I mean, yeah, you get it. We're not doing shit. Now, let me see. I'm sure I got some. Oh, the weather. Holy shit. Let me pause. Oh, before I get to this weather stuff, LNG exports, Asia, shipping disruptions, 6 fuel tankers to arrive in Australia in mid-April, canceled or deferred. That's because there's no ships. Or they were sent somewhere else, depending on who has the best friends in high places to get their shit. Now, this is a big deal for what's going on. And obviously, they had this plan for the oil and natural gas. 26, Trump's energy dominance agenda. 16 billion natural gas project with Japan in Texas. Another 56 billion Indo-Pacific energy security deal. Deals focus on exporting U.S. natural gas, nuclear reactors along secure the global oil supply lines. Okay, there you go. There. Natural gas facilities, Pennsylvania, Texas. Yeah, this is just fucking, holy shit. I had to do another screenshot along the bottom of that. SMRs, nuclear technology with GE, Alabama, Tennessee, another $40 billion. Oh, Trump was never going to hit those power facilities. They need that. Because when you take over, you need energy, you need electricity to pump that oil. Weather one. I'm gonna show some other stuff in here besides weather, but Colorado weather forecasters have expressed significant frustration with the unpredictability of the state's weather patterns, which have recently produced. I'm not gonna go show this. We've all seen the temperatures, those mid-southern, western states, whatever. And well, it's all over the fucking place. All these highs, but we've all seen them. They've been incredible. And this is without La Nino. One of the two, that's supposed to bring the heat. Right now, we're in, I forget what they call it, exposo. We're in the middle, supposedly switching from one to other. I think it's La Nino. So we're getting all these heat now without the La Nino. And another thing I'd forgotten about, I saw an article, somebody yakking about it. When we get these heat domes, wherever, especially, it's worse, obviously, when they park somewhere. But anywhere there's a heat dome, it's letting in massive amounts more of solar radiation, fucking everything up. This is going to be, it has to be bad this year. The fires and the droughts and people dying and the wet bulb temperature, the vapor pressure deficit, and the wind. And I'm sure we're going to see more. But, oh my God, look at the dew starting. Matter of fact, I haven't been watching these channels, but I can't say. But I'm willing to bet next to none of them are saying, oh my God, this strike in Iran, this strike in Israel, they actually used a direct energy weapon. I think the retards finally gave up on that shit. But let's pause here. I guess I am going to show some of this stuff. March 19th, map release March 19th. Look at that drought. Look at all the pretty color. Look, even the lighter yellow, because, come on, scroll over. Any color is bad. Even the light one, yeah. Okay, let's go on here. On the verge of breaking records, and most of them did. Here's some highs of whatever this day was in the last 10 days, or last few days. There's another one of those. Oh, that was something else. Let me see if I want to show that. Oh, I was watching a video talking about that UFO. He does more than UFO shit. This dude knew all sorts of secrets that disappeared, and that was last year. A co-worker lady that he was helping and had clearances and all that shit disappeared along with a couple others. Could there be UFOs, aliens out there? Of course there is. I believe that with everything that I am. Matter of fact, let me explain why. But I know people are still doing that shit from that lady back in the 60s or whatever. some dude died that she worked with. She was a secretary or something, and he said the last card's going to be a fake alien invasion. Well, come on. She just did that shit so she could get some claim to fame. They're never going to do that. They can never project shit all around the space and the atmosphere because there's no space, right? If you're a flat earther. Oh man, that shit. Okay, let me pause here. I forgot where I was going. I'm going to show this again. This is why I believe in aliens, not that we used to have alien technology. Okay, there's what the inside of the Pyramid of Giza. That's the design on the inside. Let me pause here. Now, look at the stupid names they gave him. Passageways, descending passageway, air shafts. Hang on a second. Now, let's look at just a few of the pictures of the inside. See how all them blocks, the rectangular blocks are? Okay, I'm going to point out why here momentarily. There's another picture. It's a different one, or maybe the same one. This is supposed to be a descending passageway. There were no steps in it, so why would they back then have a place with no steps in it that they had to go up and down when they were alive and using that thing for whatever it is? Anyway, let's move on. And you got small passageways like this. I was trying to find one. There was a smaller one because I did a video about a year ago on this. There was a passageway about half the size of that, and the guy was having to crawl through on his belly. Anyway, let's go back to this. Look at this stuff. Okay, you got all these little air shafts that some you have to crawl through on your belly. You got all these weird. Look, there's no fucking Queen's Chamber and no. I want to point out the big thing in that. Look at the precision of all the way the blocks are stacked. They got their pyramid. It's in certain dimensions around the base. All that other stuff that I'm not even going to talk about here. But look at the way the pyramids were designed and engineered before they were built. When they built those pyramids, they did not stack all these blocks and then go through there with hammers and chisels and dig out these tunnels and air shafts and passageways. Those were built in like an engineer right now does a skyscraper and all this other shit. They were built into the blueprints, and that thing was built that way. None of that shit, this is so big. They did not stack all them fucking blocks. It's one solid thing, then go through there with their primitive hammers and chisels back then, or even laser beams. Those were stacked like that. You can just tell by the way the blocks are. So, no. Proof. There's your proof right there. I don't care about pictures and film footage of USOs from back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. That's all the proof I need right there. Let me see if I have anything else to yap about. Oh, all of the Hawaiian Islands flooded. Okay, I haven't been watching people's videos, but I'm sure some of them are still spouting that horse shit. Oh, they're flooding them out so they can take over and put condos and motels up. Bullshit. Because look at all these places where they've had these massive storms, and sure, the people that live there to begin with are having hard times getting permits because they change the laws of building house and building that. Do some places not want less people back? Of course they do. But I mean, it's just the way of the world. But anyway, where's all these hotels and B&Bs moving in to take over everybody's property in Hawaii, up in California, other places? Because it's bullshit. This is just insane. This is, like I brought up before, it's kind of like the 2012 movie where they get the ice age, but we're really not going to get an ice age. We're going to get the heat, and we're getting those kind of storms. Just some of them are a little smaller and spread out far in between. But look at those, last month, whatever, where was it? God dang, what was that state that had 4 tornadoes and they hadn't had a tornado in a fucking 100 years or something? Anyway, let's check in with myself here. And again, I got to do this because all these rejects out there, Israel runs the U.S. and every president always sucks on the teat of Israel. That's not true. That's bullshit. It even goes on before, go look up articles. It even goes prior to 48. But here's Truman, de facto recognition of the new nation, and you got Zionism and all this other. This was about using Israel as a base against Russia. That's all this was. And it grew since then. Is there all this anti-Semitism shit? Of course there is, and why? Because it's a tit for that. Israel, come on, the people that run Israel know damn well that if the U.S. left, they're going to be annihilated, and the U.S. doesn't want to give up on Israel. Again, Israel is just a de facto military base for the U.S. So, survivors of the Holocaust, I'm not even going to address that. That's a whole other fucking story. Financial alliance I began in the 60s, the first year approved sale of Hawk missiles in 60. This had nothing to do with the religions, and that matter of fact, most of that just restarted, in recent presidents. I don't know. I think that maybe started close to the 80s. Anyway, let's pause here. Oh, and I can't remember if I brought up my last video or not, but they want so bad to nuke Iran and get it off the map, which we can see that's not their intention. It hasn't been. Then why not take a small nuke, blow up a city here in the U.S. or Israel, but specifically here, or just plant a real one and say DHS, Homeland Security found it, or FBI or somebody, and defuse it and blame it on Iran and go over there and blow the foot and drop a couple nukes, because it's not what they want. So everybody just stop this horse shit that the Israel's going to use a nuke, the U.S. is, Iran, nobody's going to use a fucking nuke, and Iran can't use one because they say they don't have one, right? That's what all this has been about since since back then. But I think, like I said, I think I looked it up before. Netanyahu started this shit like 92 or something, declaring, oh my God, someday Israel's going to have a nuclear shit. But I mean, going back to the main purpose of this video, doing tit for tats, whether they're false flags, black operations, hitting these oil, natural gas facilities, keeping the strait closed. You see why. It's a new power takeover, power, energy power, the new dollar, which is the dollar. Oh, and I'm going to end this here, but I think that's it. Oh, like I mentioned last summer, what I saw coming in, what we could really highly likely see starting this year, going next year, is the Dust Bowl. This is going to get so fucking bad because they can't do anything about it. They can't geoengineer a rainstorm every 3 or 4 days to keep shit from drying up. It's just going to go and go and go. And I'm out.